Thank you. Okay, so we are so happy to be here with all of you today. Today we are going to be giving you some tips about how to use LinkedIn and specifically how to improve your presence in LinkedIn in order to be noticed by the recruiters. So here with us, we have Destiny Young. She's part of the Divan team and she's going to introduce herself. And I am Sandra Velasquez, and I am also part of the Divan team. We are both career coaches from different programs and different organizations. So, Destiny, if you want to start with introducing yourself, I will go next.
Of course, and I apologize, everyone. I don't know why my video is at the bottom of the screen here, but if you could just bear with me. So as Sandra mentioned, I am a career coach. I work for March Times Canada, specifically in vocational rehabilitation. So mainly helping individuals shift from one career to another one, either due to an injury or a disability. And so that's my main focus. And then I've also joined Devant as a career coach, and I'm happy to be here with you today.
Thank you, Destiny. And again, as I was saying, I am Sandra Velasquez, and I am the job developer for the HVAC program and the network cabling program at the Career Foundation. I mostly focus on helping international new professionals who are looking to get their first step into the new career here in Canada. So let's start with the presentation and some housekeeping rules that we want to share with you today. So at the beginning, you are going to be all muted. So we will focus on the presentation, and then you will be able to to ask all the questions that you may have. There is no need for opening your camera, so you don't need to use the video app. The third thing is that we are going to be recording the session for evaluation purposes and also for keeping track of what we did today. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to answer those questions with the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Then last but not least, we are inviting you to join the next sessions that we have on the events. Okay. So you have the link there in our website, devan.ca, all events, or also in your school portal. Okay. We have a second session for using LinkedIn profile, which will be on November and is already posted on the calendar. Thank you. So welcome again. Destiny, you are going to share some information about the van and what we do.
Yes, and just so everyone knows, I'm just going to keep my camera off for now, so I just don't have that random head at the bottom there. But I will come back on after the slideshow is done. So just to present a little bit about Devant, the main purpose of the company is that we help students and graduates to get hired in Canada. So far, Devant and the career coaches that we have helped over 25,000 job seekers from across Canada secure employment. We have had over 500 live expert career development events since 2019. And currently we are partnered with 30 plus Canadian employers that have active job opportunities. So a lot of connections, a lot of events, and a lot of job seekers that we've helped.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's go and talk about the LinkedIn profile and why it's so important. So the first thing that we need to keep in mind is that LinkedIn is not only a social media platform that we use for sharing information about ourselves, it's mostly a tool for connecting with potential employers and also people who can lead to those employers in the future. So it's a social media platform that we need to be using very carefully in terms of what we post in there and also using it on all its capacity. Okay, so let's go step by step and cover what is important when you are using your LinkedIn profile. So the first thing that you need to have is certainly a profile picture. So this is one of the most crucial components of your profile. And the reason is because it's going to be the first impression. Typically, it's the first thing that anyone will see from your profile, not only the recruiters, but potential connections. Also, the research shows that just by having a picture, you will be 14 times more likely to be viewed by other people than not having a picture. And also, having a good picture will increase those odds even more. So if you have a picture, you will have 14 chances more to be seen by anyone, but also having a good picture will help you to have someone opening your profile. Okay, so choosing the best picture is not always easy. So there are some tips for choosing the best option. First, the picture needs to be clear, has to be a recent picture, so don't use the one from high school, okay? And also, it has to be a high resolution image. Your face should fill about the 60% of the frame. So use the full capacity of the frame for your face mainly, shoulders up, and filling up the 60% of the frame with your face. Be the only person in the picture. We don't want a group picture, definitely. And try to use a tripod or have someone else taking that picture for you. So you will be focused on the way you appear in the picture, mainly the facial expression, which is very important. The facial expression is going to show someone else how you want to be perceived. It's somehow sending a message about who you are. Avoid distracting backgrounds. Even you can use a background removing tool if needed. So if you took the picture and there is a background that will make some noise on your picture, you can also remove that one. Also, you need to be appropriately dressed for the occasion and mainly focus on the industry that you represent. That is also another way to create your personal brand. So dress appropriately according also to the market and to your profession. Ensure a soft and natural lighting when taking the picture, which is very important. Can we have the next one, please? Thank you. Okay, so just for doing a little evaluation, we have two pictures here. So could you please vote using the buttons at the end of the Zoom if the picture on the right is correct or the picture on the left? Perfect. Someone else is voting? Amazing. We don't have wrong answers. Perfect. So the lighting on the picture on this will be your right side of the screen, is definitely not a good option because the lighting is creating a non very clear message about this person. Okay, so we honestly prefer something like the lady with the red hair. Okay, thank you. Okay, also we have another examples here about what to do and what not to do. So you can also vote for the picture that you think is the best. Perfect, amazing. Okay, so on the other example, we see a group picture and it's really hard to understand who is the person using that profile, right? Okay. So moving up, thank you so much. Here we have another example about a good picture and not a very good picture. That is correct. So what is wrong about the first picture with the red hair is mainly the expression on her face, but also the background. So you can barely focus on her face because the background is adding some noise to the picture, but also her expression is not telling you that she's very professional. So we always have to choose something that is very professional, like the one with the gray background. Thank you. Okay, so now that we understand how to select a good picture, we need to remember filling up the 60% of the frame with your face, okay, having a very neutral background, and a good lighting, along with a good facial expression. That will be one of the best combinations possible. Nothing like the one we have crossed on the right side of the screen, which is a not very clear picture. It's kind of blurry, but also we have a group picture in the middle of a party, or someone trying to fill the frame with the whole body, okay? And also with a posture that is not necessarily the most catchy posture, like body language, okay? So be careful when choosing your profile picture. And now we're moving to the next part, which is the content, okay? So when completing the picture, we'll need the banner image, which is usually at the background, okay? The first thing that people notice when they visit your website, your LinkedIn profile, is your picture and also your banner, okay? We are basically privileging the eyes over maybe the content sometimes, okay? So don't make the mistake of leaving something that is a default image, because it's going to send a message that you are not paying attention to what you have to say, okay? Also, think about your personal brand and what message you want to transmit to your industry. So if you are working for something in financial, make sure that you have something that matches that background, that experience, and shows up that you are a good professional for the financial sector. Thank you. Okay, so there are some tips and some examples that we can use. So for workspace, okay, we can choose something. This is for someone maybe in the law sector, in the financial sector, something like a clean office space with a desk, a laptop, and a stationery. Something that combines professionalism and is ideal for corporate professionals. Also, we can look for something that tells people where you are located. City space is a good option, so you can use a city skyline or also a significant landmark. So many people in Toronto, they will go for the CN Tower for saying something. You can also share your geographical location or your personal story, something that is telling a story about who you are as a professional always. And the third option could be a cause or a mission, something that tells everyone out there who you are in terms of what you're looking for, what is one of your hobbies, and also something that will connect you with your career mission. So if you are maybe an engineer looking for something in green energies, this could be a good option. Having the windmills out there could be something sending a good message. Thank you. Okay. Also, one option is showing up the tools for the trade. So if you are a photographer, what better than a camera? That will showcase your profession with relevant tools. Also, the use of color or textures. Be careful about this one. This is for certain professions. So if you are someone into fashion design, someone into marketing, this could be a good option. Okay, but if you are into accounting, this is maybe not the best recommendation. So try to utilize captivating colors or abstract designs. Also consider the emotional impact of colors and textures. That is when you have to be careful. You can always create your own LinkedIn profile banner by using tools like Canva to craft a unique banner, or you can customize with your name, photo, and elements from previous options. For the LinkedIn headline, there are some things to be considered as well. So the brief text that is located just below your name on your profile is the main message that everyone will receive after seeing your picture. So you need to be very concise. You need to customize the statement that describes your professional identity and that makes people want to learn more. So it has to be really catchy. Plays a key role in the LinkedIn search algorithm. So people don't realize very often that the words that you use on the headlines are going to be used by the algorithm for looking job opportunities for you when someone is recruiting for a very specific profile. So this will affect how often you appear in a search for a specific keywords use. So let's say that you want to find a job for a mechanical engineering position. Of course, those two words have to be on your headline because that's how the algorithm will look for you once the recruiter is looking for someone. Thank you. But that is not an easy task. That's why we are going to give you some formulas. Okay, so these formulas are a way to address the challenge of writing that single paragraph. One is using the job title at the company that you are currently working. Let's say that you are into marketing and you can add a marketing manager at the XYZ corporation. You also add digital marketing, SEO, and content strategy. But also you can go by a job title at a company and the job that you're looking for. So your aspiration and your mission. You can add human resources manager at Global Core and passionate about talent development. So that will send the message that you are looking for new opportunities in this field. Also, as an aspiring job title, if you are maybe not working because you are a recent graduate, like in many of your cases, you can go for aspiring marketing coordinator, social media, management content creator, and bachelor in marketing because you are a junior person yet. Thank you. Okay, now let's go for the About section. This is a comprehensive summary of your professional background, achievements, which is very important, and aspirations. Okay, this is kind of your tell me about yourself on your LinkedIn profile. So tells your story in your own words, offering insights into your personality, value, and goals. Also, you need to use your keywords because that's how the algorithm is going to look for you. Use the same words that you use in the About section because this will improve your discoverability in LinkedIn searches. That's how you appear for the searches. Around 3 paragraphs or about 300 words is the recommendation. Thank you. Okay, now for the About section, we also have some tips. You can go by the present, past, and future about what you do, what have you got here, why you are here, the education, the previous role, and what you want to do in the future. Also, you can use your personality and skills, your current job and duties, and what makes you unique. And the last option, especially for a new graduate, is the academic background and the aspirations, what you are studying right now, your academic achievement or ongoing projects, and your career aspiration. Thank you. Okay, now let's go for something important, the experience section. This showcases your professional journey from past roles to current responsibilities. So we always go similar to in the resume, from the new one to the oldest one. These include internships, freelance work, part-time job, and even volunteer experience that you may have. This is crucial for attracting hiring managers and recruiters because they want to know if you have experience for the job that you are applying for. Also, a well-crafted experience section increases profile visibility, connection requests from people who will be a good option, and messages from other people. So you want to be seen definitely because of your experience. Thank you. Okay, so because this is not an easy task, we want to give you some ideas. So there are some mandatory details like the job title. You need to be clear about what was or what is your job title, the company that you work for, the starting and the ending date for each position. Also, as a recommendation, the employment type, just specifying if that was a part-time or full-time, where did you develop that job, and even if that was a volunteer position, an internship position, okay? Then you have the bullet points with all the achievements. So you have to focus on the achievements and do not leave the description blank. So you want to show that you work for certain company at certain role in a different kind of contract, but also what you did as an achievement for that role. Thank you. Okay. So for creating a very standout experience description, so be descriptive, communicate your role, responsibility, and again, achievements. Quantify the achievements, use numbers and percentage to highlight your accomplishment. So examples of that is I reduced the cost of operation on $2,500 per week. Action verbs. Start the bullet points with impactful verbs. Implemented, manage, achieve, oversaw. Clarity and conciseness. Communicate effectively and avoid jargon. The company context. Briefly describe less known companies to provide context. Specifically for those who are from a different country, we always need to show what are our background experience in terms of kind of telling the sector that we have worked before. Scannable format. This is very important because mostly all big companies, they use the ATS, which is a tracking system that use the bullet points through something that you can scan in the ATS system, okay? So use bullet points for easy readability because recruiters often scan your profile using the ATS. Okay, so for the experience description, it's very important that you keep in mind, instead of this design marketing campaign for a software product, which is something very generic, you want to use a number and a very specific impact KPI. Develop targeted marketing campaigns that resulted in a 30% increase in user engagement and a 25% rise in product adoption rates over a 6-month period. So something as vague as design marketing campaign for a software product is not going to work. Thank you. Okay, so this is mainly what we wanted to share with you today. We still have some times for the questions that you may have. So please, if you haven't sent the questions on the chat, feel free to open your microphone because we can answer the questions as well here. We have a question from Kevin.
Yeah, so Kevin asked, should profile pictures always be completely forward facing? I think you can be on a little bit of an angle, that would be okay, but mainly you want to have yeah, mostly forward would be good.
Yes.
You just want a clear view of your face, right?
Exactly. And also keeping in mind that the facial expression is very important. So if you are maybe having an angle like Destiny just mentioned, make sure that your expression is clear and is transmitting the correct message. We have another question, I think.
I don't see any questions in the chat. Feel free to write your questions in the chat or take your microphone off. Is anyone currently working on building their LinkedIn profile?
Okay, we have Jackie. Yes, you can open your microphone.
Kataki, feel free to unmute your microphone, or you can type your question in the chat as well.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Uh, uh, s- so I have been working on my LinkedIn. I've been reading books about it and trying to get really deeper into it. So I've been trying to connect with talent acquisition people to plan how I want to get into finance in future once I'm done with my post graduation.
Okay, so if I am understanding correctly, your question is mostly about how to get connecting with these people, not only sending the request, but how to get a positive answer. Is that the
Networking.
question?
Yeah, like, is there any specific type of professions I can reach out to, or how can I grow my network? So so in future I get more exposure to kind of jobs I'm setting goal for.
Okay, so usually the recommendation is when you ask for a contact, first, don't send the contact request only. Also, add a note on the request. But secondly, be kind of specific about why you want to connect with that person. I usually recommend to notice something that that person has done for others. Okay. And in my own experience, what I can tell you is that if you are a newcomer, people is willing to help you as long as they understand that you are looking for something very specific, because as you know, time is gold here in Canada. So people want to get into the conversation when they know why you are asking for that connection. And also, you can start by asking for something that is called an informational interview, which is mainly having a conversation with that person, not necessarily someone looking to hire, but mostly someone who has done, the same journey. Okay.
I think Sandra's suggestion about an informational interview is a great idea. Typically, someone who is advanced in their career would be willing to, spare a few minutes, maybe a quick 15-minute to 20-minute meeting, answering a few questions about how they got to where they wanted to be in their career. I think another good way to find that out is to look on LinkedIn, type in the job title that you are looking for. So say it's administrative assistant, and then look at different profiles and see how people got to that job. What certificates did they take? What extra courses did they take? Did they do an internship as an admin assistant? So kind of gathering some more details about how you could potentially emulate that path and have it for yourself.
Okay. You're welcome, Yutaki. Do we have more
Okay.
questions?
Yes, Nazgul asked, so I'm an international student. I don't have any job opportunities here. So what should I write in a description today? She's mentioning that she just started her account.
Okay, so
Okay.
you don't have any experience to put on the experience section, but what about volunteering? One of the things that you must see as a way to get employment here in Canada is doing volunteer opportunities. Okay, there are many websites where you can look for that. I personally recommend something called Charity Village, because on that place you will find volunteering opportunities in so many sectors that you can imagine. Okay, and that is a way to demonstrate that you are also not only understanding the Canadian culture, but also having some Canadian experience that will be added on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's see if we have another question. No, I think that was the last one.
We had a participant ask if it was possible to get the link for the recording, and I just answered that we're going to be sending each participant the link after the webinar.
Perfect.
Oh, the website is Charity Village.
Charity Village, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great site, a job board to look for volunteer opportunities, but also jobs in the nonprofit sector.
Yeah. And now they are posting even outside of the nonprofit, which is interesting. I
Oh.
have found things in fields like construction.
Oh, wow. Okay. I
or
didn't notice that.
volunteers. Yeah, this is actually very, very new, like from the last month or something.
Okay.
Just to give you something from my own experience, I came to Canada 3 years ago and I had no connections here. And because of my previous work in my country, I had no search for a job ever in my life. So when I came here, I had the same challenge as you did. And all I can say is my LinkedIn profile went from zero, literally zero contact, to more than 800 relevant contacts right now. So that's, of course, a task. It's something that you need to be focused on, but it's something doable and something that will give you very good results.
And I think a great way to start, if you don't know where to start making connections, is definitely just connecting with your classmates, connecting with your friends. Your professors would likely accept a connection request as well to just start building that profile.
Absolutely.
That's
Okay.
definitely how I started mine.
Good. Ilham has also a question about under the description, how many bullet points is acceptable? So the general recommendation, and there is no law here, is usually between 3 and 5 maximum, okay? Depending also on how many jobs you have had in your past. So if you had like a lot of positions, in that case, you will probably be good with maybe 3 bullet points. But if you only had one job in your whole career, maybe you can expand that for a little bit more than 5.
Kataki asks, any tools that we would suggest for resume building?
Okay, so the first recommendation is definitely our own tool at the Divan website, because we have an amazing resume builder that honestly I will trust 100% because it comes along with the resume scanner. So it's something different building your resume, but also something else to make it tailored to the position that you want to apply for. Okay, indeed, has some resources as well, but they will never give you the scanner option. So my recommendation will be, of course, the platform that we have at Divan.
I agree with Sandra. The thing that I like about our resume builder is that it really divides in sections. It gives you a grade at the end and tells you specifically what you need to work on. So if you need to improve your headers, maybe you need to improve, the action verbs that you're using as your descriptors. Maybe your font is too large or it's just not the right type of font that we would suggest. It has all of those suggestions for you and basically identifies all of the errors or areas of improvement and then gives you a suggestion for improvement. So it really is a great a tool for resume building.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we have another question from Tuirani. Hi, I am an international student and all my past experiences, I mainly worked in sales, has nothing to do with what I want to do later on. How can I modify my LinkedIn profile to have people from this team feel to be interested in my profile? Okay, so usually what we will recommend in this case is mostly focusing on your transferable skills. That is all you did in the past that can be used for this new profile. So that includes somehow the soft skills, but also something that you did in the past that can be a good option now, like project management skills, Let's see that you are a very organized person. Of course, if you work in sales before, you are definitely a people person with social abilities that you can also use for the STEM sector. Okay, so try to focus on everything that you did that will be a good use right now.
I would also recommend potentially pursuing an internship or, a co-op opportunity in the STEM field to then be able to add that experience to your profile. But I definitely agree with what Sandra said as well. Highlighting those transferable skills, because you definitely would have those valuable transferable skills that can go from one industry to the other.
You're welcome, Triani.
Any other questions about your current maybe struggles with building your LinkedIn profile or connecting or networking?
Just as a reminder, that is probably already on our website, we'll have another part for this LinkedIn webinar. So that one will be focused mainly on how to use the LinkedIn profile that you already created to do a better connection with the not only the recruiters, but also with people from the same field. Okay, that one, sorry, will be happening on November the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. It's already on the website. So there you will have also an additional resources about how to use your LinkedIn profile for better connections and of course better options when looking for a job. Okay, so it seems like we don't have any more questions? Feel free to ask.
I think I'm going to copy and paste my LinkedIn profile into the chat, and any of you are welcome to add me as a connection if you would like. I know it can be a daunting task to start to build those connections.
Definitely. And also don't feel bad if you never hear from someone that you ask for a connection, because some people either don't look too much to their LinkedIn profile, or sometimes people just don't spend time on doing that part, okay, for any reason. So just move on and go to the next person that will probably say yes to the connection, okay? I will try to get mine as well. Let me see.
So now that I've actually added my LinkedIn profile link, it brings up another good point. So you can actually edit your profile link. So I edited mine to actually just have my name at the end there. There is an option once you have your profile open on the right-hand side where it says public profile and ULR, and then it has the little pencil there, so that shows that you can edit it. And so you can change your profile link, and I would suggest just using your name.
I'm going to put mine as well.
Does everyone here have a LinkedIn profile, or do we have some new LinkedIn profile builders? Zorro has one.
Okay.
See, and you could see that Sandra edited her link as well and used her name.
Also, it's very important, and we will talk about that again in November, I guess. Not only keeping the profile updated, but also it is very important that you post constantly, because as much new content you create, the better options that you will get to be seen by anyone. The reason is the algorithm behind that is kind of giving privileges to people who create original content, okay? And also make sure that you post something that is relevant, is somehow safe, okay? So keep in mind that this is a professional network. This is not for sharing your family member celebration or something, okay? This is not for telling everyone, hey, this is my birthday and this is what I want for a present.
I think also not only posting, but engaging with content. And if you start following employers of interest, organizations of interest, you'll start to see their content in your feed. And if you engage with that, that will be good as well, just for exposure and potentially further connections, especially if you're engaging in the comment section and maybe you go back and forth and chat with someone and you can find some similarities with them. So I see some people adding their LinkedIn profiles in the chat, and that's great. Potentially you can add each other as well. Okay, Nazgul had another question, so I'll just read it out here. Back in my country, I had a bachelor degree in law, and now I'm studying IT security here in Canada. These programs do not have anything in common, so what should I have to focus on, and what should I write?
Okay. So just like we were mentioning a moment ago, try to focus on anything that you can consider a transferable skill. So if you are now working in IT security, maybe it's like cyber security and iCloud security, someone with a bachelor degree in law will be aware about regulations, about how to understand what can be done and what cannot be done somehow, even in commercial law, even though you are not authorized to work as a lawyer here, but you are able to understand a code, which is something that you can transfer as part of your skills. Also, if you have a bachelor degree in law, is because you are probably someone who is kind of acting in someone else's best interest. So that is somehow a way to show that you can be trusted. And if you are working in IT security, accountability is something very important. Okay, so you can add that as one of your skills in your profile, either in your resume, but also on your LinkedIn profile. So try to think about your LinkedIn profile as a in the cloud resume that is also live and being active every single day.
I think some other transferable skills you could add would be problem solving or critical thinking. So I think both professions in IT and law, you're going to engage in some complex problem solving, looking at legal issues and finding solutions versus troubleshooting, as in, with the technical problems and finding solutions for that as well. So as you can see, there's a bit of a pattern here. If you have education in one area and you're wanting to move into another area, it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Do we have any more questions? Is everyone now connecting with the rest of the attendees? Okay. Something very interesting about LinkedIn is once you start connecting with someone, because that someone also knows a lot of people, you will have access to kind of a lot of new contacts that are potential relevant connections, not only for finding a job, but also even for finding new certifications, new resources, especially if you are a newcomer. So sometimes you will see people posting about not only jobs, but how to, I don't know, even find specific resources for someone who speaks certain languages, different programs that are nowadays online or in person and are just out there, but we don't even know about them because we don't connect with people. So LinkedIn is definitely a good platform for that. So even if you are working, I highly recommend that you still get active on LinkedIn.
One other thing I was thinking of is that LinkedIn offers this banner feature now. So you can put a banner up that says that you're open to work. So this will really signal to recruiters that you're actively seeking new job opportunities and could potentially, you know, if they are interested in your profile and you've built it up in a way that really represents you and what career you're aiming for, potentially if they see that you're open to work, they might reach out to you that way. I don't know if any of you have seen it before. I think it's a green banner.
It is green, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another way to signal that you're open to opportunities. You're open to having discussions about opportunities that are available, whether that be volunteer, part-time, full-time. We have a few more people posting their links to their profiles. So as you can see here, this is a good example. Nazgul's link has some, you know, different characters at the end there, some numbers and random letters. So you can change that. So we would recommend altering that to just your first and last name. And you can use potentially your name and then a hyphen, or your name and an underscore in your last name.
Hi. So I I got to know about the headlines code words. So for example, if recruiters are looking for the potential for people to interview, they will be searching, let's say, some associate and admin, something. So how can we find the exact code words, those codes for to put it onto our headlines or put it onto our summary so we do fall into their filter?
So you mean about how to select the correct words?
Correct. Yeah. For example, for me currently, you can see I am aiming for financial services representative or a banking advisor roles. So I put it like an aspiring representative and banking advisor. So I was hoping that through that I will fall into their filter when they look for possible interviewers for these roles. So are there any ways to select these code words?
Yes. Okay. So if you are clearly marking that you are aspiring to that specific role, I think it's a good option. But also another recommendation is finding the way they posted on the job that you want to get. So you can find a similar job posting to that role and search for the clue words that they use on the job description. when they say, I'm looking for a passionate person with finance experience, who knows about the financial sector, something like that. So you can try to use those words in your profile as well.
So in my summary as well, I can use that, right? Summary and also in headline. In my profile summary.
Oh, so the profile summary is going to be a bit longer. That's going to be where you're going to have your personalized sort of career story. The header is going to be a few select terms. So if you want to say aspiring financial services representative or financial planner, and maybe another few key terms, which you can find, as Sandra suggested, by looking at some job postings and seeing what relevant terms come up over and over again in the postings that you're interested in.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And the profile should be something around 300 words, okay?
Profile summary.
Yes, that's the one. That should be around 300 words, or maybe 3 short paragraphs.
Okay.
So sometimes I suggest to my clients using your elevator pitch. So you're basically a 30-second pitch of your career, your educational background, essentially who you are as a professional. I'm just going to share my screen again so that we can share the other events that we have coming up over the coming weeks. Sorry, it's not allowing me to share a particular slide.
Let me see.
So I do know that next week we have the Devant Career Cafe, which will be an opportunity to talk to career coaches, ask any questions that you may have about your current job search. So that could be related to your LinkedIn profile, could be related to interviewing, networking, developing your resume, anything along those lines, maybe working on an elevator pitch.
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Not letting me share the screen either. Okay. But let me send everyone the link directly to the calendar, okay? So you can search on your own. And like Destiny was mentioning, the next event that we have open to the public is October 18, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. is the Divan Career Cafe, like you mentioned. And then next Wednesday is going to be a live immigration Q&A with Elizabeth Long. She's one of the most reputed immigration lawyers that I know, actually. Let me just share here. And you can search directly for the calendar, okay? There you go.
Does anyone have any final questions or thoughts? Nazgul is asking, should I just follow people with the same interests as mine, or can I connect with people in other subjects or career areas? I definitely suggest having a wide array of connections. You know, people that work in different industries maybe have different perspectives, different insights that they can offer. So it's always valuable to connect with a variety of professionals, for sure. So just as a reminder, you will be receiving this webinar as a link after we finish here.
We have another question from Mohammed. Say, is it possible for you to help me using LinkedIn Learning for free? So you mean if the LinkedIn Learning courses are for free? In that case, yes, you can access LinkedIn by using what I usually recommend. It's not even paying for the premium registration, but you can always go to your public library, and by using your library card, you can always access every single course on LinkedIn. And also, they will give you the certifications, which is a good asset that you can put on your profile. So as far as I know, many public libraries, I know Toronto Public Library, I know Halton Region Public Libraries, and Hamilton Public Libraries, they all have access to LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn learning courses when you use the card. So the number will be the number that you use for registration, the number on your card.
Okay, I'm just going to share it this way, just so you can see the events that we have coming up. So as I mentioned before, next Wednesday, October 18th, we'll have the Devant Career Cafe. On October 25th, the live immigration Q&A. And then the events coming in November, we have an expert panel on November 1st for those who have careers in HR. And on November 8th, connecting with confidence. So the LinkedIn networking, so the second portion of this webinar. Additionally, there's a LinkedIn mini course that is coming soon. So just keep your eye out for that on the Devant Career Portal.
Okay, perfect. So if we have no more questions, we would like to remark some important facts. One is definitely that by using your LinkedIn profile and by creating a proper LinkedIn profile with a good picture, also a good headline, and also a good description, you can certainly start connecting with many professionals in your area. Along with that, you need to be actively using your LinkedIn profile for connections and also for building all the assets and all the certifications and courses in your career. And again, we are inviting you to join us on every Divan event that we have every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So the next section, the next part for how to use your LinkedIn profile will be, like Destiny just showed us, on November 8th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, November 8th.
At 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining and sharing and asking your questions.
We are really glad that you had so many questions. That means that you were taking good use of these tips that we are giving you today. And we hope that you take that with you for building your career here in Canada. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.